Do you care if I drink my coffee throughout this experience? Yeah. Oh. That made a funny sound.
What's in yours?
Vodka. Just kidding.
Probably.
Imagine. What time is it? Noon? 1? No.
Yeah.
It's just a little almond milk and some espresso.
Oh, okay. Is that like something you make at home? Like on your...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like my 4th cup of the day.
That's right. I remember you telling me last time about all the coffee you drink. This is
Oh yeah.
This is a cold brew. I'm trying to like get into cold brew. I've been getting this chameleon cold brew over at Whole Foods. Seems pretty good.
Oh, that
With
sounds
some-
yummy.
With some of the silk vanilla creamer and some caramel, which all seems to pile at the bottom.
Whole Foods?
Yeah, I get at the Whole Foods in Burbank.
That's that bougie coffee.
It is that whole paycheck.
As long as it's not, if it was Erewhon coffee, then you'd really be.
Oh no, I can't even afford to go in there. They won't even let me in without. Not with my credit score.
Yeah, is there like an admission fee when you walk into Erewhon? They're like, that'll be $15 just to enter.
But I do like it. I've been to the one down at Abbot Kinney. That's the one I was actually at, the air one down at Abbot Kinney in Venice.
Is that the one you have to valet for?
Probably, because there's like 4 parking spots. Yeah, that's
That
a
is
nightmare.
that is outrageous. When you have to valet to go get your groceries, you are
Yeah.
something else.
You just got to go on a Tuesday at 1 p.m. That's the time to go.
Oh, that's so
Isn't that
silly.
crazy though? This was I pulled up this video.
Oh, was I wearing the same glasses? Oh no, they're
I
a little
wonder. Yeah, it was me, you, and Sophie.
Sophie, I'm in front of her right now.
Is it? I was wondering. Yeah.
She's sitting right below my
I'll
camera.
always remember that because that's such a weird name for a piece of equipment, and I never knew if you were just like having a laugh or if you were serious about the name.
No, I'm dead serious.
It's like your ex-boyfriend's favorite name or something.
Yeah, why did that is true. That's his favorite. That's like what he wanted to name his kid or something, and then I stole it for my piano. That's so weird.
It is
Wow,
weird.
it's been so long. How have you been?
I'm good. Yeah, that was 6 days after our sister station 98.7 played your song for the first time, and you posted it on Instagram. I remember it was 6 days, so you're still coming off that high from that, and then the world kind of stopped.
We were literally, you met me like right at the mid my life was changing forever.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think of when you see her right there?
I think that she looks swaggy as hell.
Yeah.
That's a great outfit.
Do you still have that jacket and stuff?
I do. It's in that closet right there.
Yeah, it's a good jacket. It's a nice color.
I think, ooh, you have no idea what's about to happen, little girl.
Yes.
Do I look older?
To you or into the world? I think you
Do I look older?
Yeah.
Wiser?
Yeah, you look wiser. You look more anxious to get out and play these damn songs in the public. That's what you look.
I grew out my beard over the pandemic, and
That's good.
You know,
Nobody can see.
God.
Are you still living in? Are you in West Hollywood still?
no, I moved twice since I saw you.
Yeah.
I moved to Highland Park.
Okay.
Like midway through the pandemic, because where I was staying in West Hollywood was like a 500 square foot bungalow, and my boyfriend moved in with me, and it was just like too small for
Yeah.
2 people.
Right.
And then we found a little bit bigger of a spot in Highland Park, and then now we found a cool little house in Silverlake that we're staying at now.
Oh, good. Good area. Silverlake. I always get confused of where Silverlake is, but it is like the perfect. Yeah, it makes sense that you would live there. You are at Silverlake, aren't you?
I am. And I was fighting it when I first moved to LA because I felt like that's where all like the hipsters went. And I mean, look at me. I'm a hipster. I mean, I just am. So I fought it for a while, and then I noticed we kept going on like all our dates in Silverlake. Like whenever we were gonna go out, we went to the bars in Silverlake, or we went to like the restaurants in Silverlake, and like.
Uh-oh, you're getting choppy on me. You've frozen.
Oh no!
You have froze up, but it's a flattering
Am I frozen?
freeze. Yeah, but it's a flattering.
You're
freeze.
frozen.
Oh, there you go.
My.
I'm getting you back.
Was it flattering? Yours was really flattering. It was like this.
That's not. That's not.
Like you had like
flattering
kind
at
of
all.
just like the nicest smirk.
That's
I'm
me
sorry.
going. I wonder if she's gonna come back. I wonder.
Oh, she got important, and now
Yeah.
she's freezing on me.
Right. Got to be excited though. You can finally tour all these damn songs. That has to have been driving you crazy for the past year, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was good. I think, like I was saying, like we met like right at the on ramp of my whole life sort of changing forever.
Yeah.
And I think it was weird. Like it was, things go the way they're supposed to go. I've been through a lot of hard things in my life, and I still believe that that's true. And I think even in this past year, my career changing sort of forever, like it went the way it was supposed to. I think that I would have had a lot of panic attacks and like maybe mental breakdowns if I was like experiencing my career change and also was on like a tour and like press tour and all this stuff at the same time. Because of the pandemic, I was able to sort of process, all of the craziness from home, which maybe is what I needed.
That's a really interesting way to look at it. Yeah, you can kind of slow yourself down a little bit, kind of find your feet. Huh.
Yeah. And so now I've settled into the success, I think, enough to where I really know who I am. I really know what I have to say. I think that a lot of artists, don't just take up space, Like there's enough people taking up space in the world. So if you're gonna take up space, know who you are, know what you have to say. And I think that it gave me an opportunity to sort of like really fine tune that stuff and figure it out before the world opened up. But yes, I'm excited to tour. Wow, I'm gonna shut up now.
No, that's good. And it's funny that also is over that year you've gotten all these new fans. I mean, so you've had this chance to go on Instagram lives and do videos and connect with them before you can even hit the road. And by the way, on that, with all these new fans, I mean, they want to know, man, they love you. They want to know everything about you, everything. So how do you know what to put out there, be transparent, be vulnerable as an artist, but what to keep for yourself? Is there this little jar over here? It's like, you know what, I have to keep this locked up over here for me. Or are you just saying, fuck it and let it all out?
That's a great question. How lighthearted do you want me to keep this?
However you want. I mean, it's, your fans are going to watch this.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think
this is for them. They want to know about you and your true feeling on that. So yeah, for sure.
I love them so much. I mean, genuinely are really, really good to me. And for the most part, feel fairly safe. At least the fan base that I've acquired and the energy that's been sort of magnetized to me or whatever that is, they're all really, really kind people, or at least seemingly.
Yeah.
And so I'm a pretty open book for the most part. It's not so much wearing my heart on my sleeve. It's more just like just being real with people and being okay with, whether or not they're like happy with your vulnerability or not. Like what I say, you know, it's on the listener to how they, you know, want to take in what I have to say. And so, for the most part, I think that I've stayed fairly open and share a lot with my fans. Last year, I had a pretty big loss in my family, and I didn't share that with fans while I was processing it. So I was like, I recognize that this is something that's very traumatic in my life. So I'm going to take time to really process it, grieve, write some songs about it, because that's how I process my life. And
Sure.
then when I was ready, I shared, you know, that loss with my fan base. And so there's not a lot that I won't talk about fairly openly, but in my own time, you know.
Yeah, because I remember that in our first time we met, you're you. You seem very, I don't mean this to be condescending, but you seem very in touch with who you are, and willing to put that out there, and that takes a strength. But I'm guessing also, in order for fans to really connect with what you're saying, because some of the topics that you're going into, they really have to know where that's coming from, don't they? So you can't just say, I'm staying back here, here's a bunch of stuff that I wrote, do what you want. So,
Yeah.
but you seem to have been able to marry that. So
That's nice. I mean, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I don't know, this is something that I'm still learning, but like there's no world in which everyone likes me, you know? I think that there's a world in which, I mean, a lot of people like me, and that's awesome, you know, and that feels good, but there's never going to be a world in which I make everyone happy. And there's music and different types of artists for different people. So, you know, I think that it's my job to be sort of shamelessly, emphasis on shamelessly, sort of me. And then people can take it or leave it and pick and choose. And if I'm their particular flavor of, you know, I don't know, whiskey, then awesome. Keep drinking it. I'm a good time. But, or coffee. They're going to think that I actually
now I know you have
here.
whiskey in there. Now I know you have whiskey in there.
Dang it. But yeah.
So early on when you were saying, you know,
I'm going to shut this window.
Yeah,
One
go
second.
for it.
The birds are being loud.
They are loud, aren't they? It's hot as hell, by the way, because I'm in Toluca Lake, not too far from you. How are you dealing with this heat?
Oh, man. My little studio that I've made for myself is upstairs in like the front of the house. And it's like where the sun is just hitting all day, and there's no AC unit in here.
Oh my gosh.
So it's where I do all my interviews, and I've had a couple people over for like writing sessions, and I just have to like wear light layers, new friend, because you're gonna sweat for this song.
It's harsh. I have two fans, one in that room that's blowing in, and one in this room blowing out. But this morning I'm like, what is that? And the fan that was blowing in was burning. So now my entire place smells like not only heat but also hot burnt electronics. It's like
no.
Yeah, it's like a no win. But I mean, it's like what, 90 degrees. It's not that bad. We're probably just being dramatic, but
we are being dramatic. Yeah, and my fan that I have like blowing on me all day is too loud for interviews, so I have to turn it off when I'm talking to someone. So you'll slowly just see me get redder and redder.
You can turn it on. Go for it. This isn't CNN or anything. Just pop it on if you want.
No, I need to look my best for you.
You can start dripping.
I know. No, I'm fine. It's not that bad right now. The iced coffee's helping.
Good. I remember you talked about early on how if you're going to have to go to college, you're going to make it a music college, and you're going to focus on that and stuff. And back then, when you kind of envisioned what you wanted, how close to that are you now? Like, are you anywhere near what you envisioned this music career to be at all? Or are you on the path of it?
That's a good question.
I'm loaded with these,
No.
man. I've been thinking for a while.
I know. I'm man. After last year, like I'd done my fair share of some radio interviews, and
Yeah.
man, not all of them are fun.
Oh,
For you right now?
say
yeah,
again.
did I cut out?
You cut out for a second. What did you say?
How about now? Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
you're good.
Now? I was just saying I did my fair share of, radio interviews last year, and, they're just, to be really frank, they're not all fun. Some of them are a great time, but I just have a lot of gratitude for you. I remember, I feel very spoiled that my first sort of radio interview was with you. Because
I was? I was your
Yeah.
first? Oh my God, I didn't know that.
first ever in my entire life.
Holy cow.
I know. Right?
Wow.
I know.
That's
lot of
that's nice to say. That's nice
Lot
of
of
you
pressure.
to say. Yeah,
Well,
I think I
I
came into
appreciate
my own at some point where I started to trust that the things that I generally and genuinely want to know about are things that maybe the fans want to know about as well. So, like you, I began
I
to trust
appreciate that.
myself. But I wanted to know that. I mean, like, how close are, like, when you had that vision early on saying, I want to do something in music, I don't know exactly what, but how is that looking compared to what was laid out for before?
Yeah, I mean, I just did not know. None of this I thought was possible when I was, in school. It was music school, but there was no direction. I knew what I wanted to get out of music school, but I didn't know what I wanted to get out of my future after music school. Like, I moved to Nashville. I think we've talked about this before, but moved to Nashville right out of school and was like, maybe I'll be a songwriter. I think I had more confidence around being a songwriter than I did around being an artist. And so like me sitting as this creature before you now, I definitely didn't imagine myself in this position. So it's very different than
So
what
it's
I
probably
thought.
further along than that's great.
Yeah, it's
That's,
cool. I mean, it's awesome. Love
That is
it.
good. And as a solo artist, if you're in a band, you're kind of going through things together and you're talking about, hey, this is how I'm feeling today. As a solo artist, do you have someone that you talk to, that even another artist or something, that you're just like, hey, I feel like this today, or how did you deal with this? Are those people that you can call or text for that?
Yeah. Oh, I do like your question. I more recently have started reaching out to people. Phineas has always been there. He's always been a really good sort of confidant, and he also won't sort of beat around the bush with me.
Good.
I can always trust that he'll just be really real and honest, which not everyone will be.
So he's the kind of guy who would tell you when something's not good, even.
Yes.
That's
Yeah, but in like the kindest, respectful way, because there is such an amount of mutual love and respect there. So
Sure.
he's not going to be a jerk about it, but yeah, he's really real. And so I always appreciate that. I just reached out. I just had, coffee a couple weeks ago with Maggie Rogers, which was a really good sort of like, hey, I can tell you about my life and I don't have to explain it. Like I knew that I didn't, like, she was already going to get everything that I was trying to express,
Sure.
Without me explaining it. And I think there's a very few, there's a small group of people on the planet that can really understand, fully what I've been through or what I'm currently going through.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I reached out to her. Who else is there? There's this amazing actress, Dove Cameron. Her and I have started to talk more, and obviously she actually does have a bit of a music career, but she's known as an actress, and just being in the entertainment industry and how to balance your personal life with your work life and your mental health. And so yeah, I've gotten better at reaching out to people.
Good.
I think.
Yeah, it was always interested me that, you got a band, even like for weird example, like One Republic, when all these guys are been traveling for over a decade, but they're all going through it together. They can talk about it. But when you're a solo artist, that's a lot to carry, and the parents and the friends, they'll never understand. They'll never get it. So and how can they unless they do it? But that's good.
I will say though, based on my personality, I probably would have had a hard time. It would have been nice to go through an experience with, a band together, but I'm so opinionated, and I'm so clear on what I want that if I had someone fighting me on those things in a band, I'd be like, you're out. Like, I don't know.
Wow.
I would have had a really hard time, I think, in a band atmosphere. I mean, I play on the road with a band, but they play, with and for me. So it's just a different situation.
The drama in the Ashe band. That could have been fun. That could have been a fun behind the music. No, if you had your full band.
My Fleetwood Mac story. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Right. Hey, I noticed on one of your posts as well, you were saying something, and sorry, this is too nerdy of a question, but I'm even confused and want to know how this is. You posted something and saying, thanks for 50 million streams of one of your songs, right? And you were celebrating, thank you for. What does that mean? Because I think a lot of people, when you're thinking, holy hell, 50 million streams, Ashe is a billionaire.
Oh, my glasses fell off my head.
Yeah, kind of the reaction I was expecting, to be honest. Because it is weird, isn't it? It's just, I think there is that battle between streaming and what the artist is getting from that, and is music too available to people like that? Or so what does it mean when a song when you get 50 million streams on a song? What does that mean for you?
Wow there, bud.
Yeah.
Wow, Dave.
And it's a vague question, I know,
great.
but I don't know how to word it because I don't quite understand it. So
I think there is a misconception that it equals money. No. I mean, it slowly over time, it does. I mean, it adds up, but it's like pennies on the song, pennies on the stream. And so, yeah, I mean, and that's okay. Like, it's okay for the listeners to not fully understand how that all works. I mean, I think it's pretty elusive to us as artists how streaming and getting paid works. But yeah, it's it's pennies on the stream. So it's like, 50 million streams is not $50 million by any means.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Is music just like too available then in that way? Or because I'm old school with it, it was like I'm buying a CD or a tape. I'm really showing my age there. But yeah, and you wonder how to support your artist, your favorite artist. How do you want to make sure that they get the most from what they're doing?
I think that ultimately you want people to buy into you fully as an artist, as a creator, and having the music more accessible means that there's a better opportunity for them to buy into you overall. So there is a chance that the more times they can hit repeat on Spotify of Till Forever Falls Apart or Moral of the Story or whatever, that they fall deeper in love and that they want to buy tickets to the show and they want to buy merch, and they want to invest their time into you as a human being. So I don't know I think there's a really like philosophical conversation around streaming, and there's a very I think there's a pros and cons. It's
a sensitive
right,
one,
left.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't mean to pry into that side of it, and I don't mean to put you on the spot like that. It's just it is an interesting, and I like the way you're saying it because it's almost like 50 million streams. First of all, that means people love you that much that they want to keep listening to your songs. But it's kind of an awareness thing. I guess then, isn't it?
Yeah, and does it always translate to people buying tickets? Does does a video going viral, on TikTok mean people are going to buy tickets to my show?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I think the awareness, more popular awareness, gives you a better chance. But there's so much that goes into someone finding an artist, falling in love, and then being willing to invest their life and time and money into that person. It's not easy out here on the streets. Let me tell you.
On the streets. On the streets of Silverlake.
On the streets of Silverlake.
That's your next song. That's your next song. Yeah, it is. It's an interesting thing. And like I said, I grew up in a different time of buying songs. And now it's almost like, man, I almost feel guilty for having the iHeartRadio app all access for $15 a month. And I can listen to anything as many times as I want.
Yeah.
What? That seems unfair. I mean, from my side or listener side, it's like, this is great. But yeah, I always wonder how that translates on the other side. And again, I know it's a real fragile.
I think the idea also is that fans want to invest in the music, physical copies of the music as well. So, they can stream your songs on the iHeartRadio app, but then they're also going to your online store and they're buying the vinyl. Even if they don't have a vinyl player,
Yeah.
there's still, if you can get the people, your fans to, really love and, want to invest themselves, then hopefully they're doing both. Hopefully they're driving up the streaming numbers and they're buying the physical copies. I don't know.
That's a few hour conversation.
That's a can you opened, my friend.
By the way, speaking of moral of the story, guess who I talked to about a week ago?
Niall Horan?
Yeah.
Aww,
we did
how
one of
is
these
he?
all the way from London. He's such a class guy. I was literally the last interview before he went on vacation, and that dude could not hang up. He could not wait to hang up.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
I bet he was so ready to go. Oh, what a classy guy.
He is a
How
good
was
dude.
The interview?
He was good. It was him and Anne Marie talking about their new song together. It was really neat to talk to him.
Cool.
Hey, let's talk about this music real quick. So, when we talked about with a band and stuff like that, you'd fear of like butting heads and stuff. When you've got people like Phineas and Leroy Clampett, what are these? Because these guys' names are all over this album. What are these guys bringing to the table for your voice, metaphorically? What are they bringing to the table for you? What do they bring into your songs that you feel like you need them to do?
Well, Leroy Clampett is just an outstanding producer and writer.
He's
just
everywhere.
Incredibly talented and very, very versatile. Like if I called him and I was like, I want to make a jazz album next week, he would be able to do that. He's got such a great ear, and because he's a really good listener too. Talk about vinyls. He's got just every vinyl on face of the earth, and he's just very in tune with, if he has an idea in his head, he knows exactly how to create that sound. And so by way of that, I was very involved in the production of my album, and I was very, I knew exactly what I wanted to sound like, and he helped me create that sound. So that was really cool.
He's got to get in your head to see what you're hearing, and then, so he's the guy who can do that, huh?
Yeah, it's a gift, and not every producer has that. And a lot of producers, God love them, have their own agenda, which, I mean, we're human beings. We all have our own agenda, right? But as the artist, I'm like, my agenda wins. You know, I'm like, I'm the one who's living and dying with these songs. I'm going to be singing them for the rest of my life. My agenda has to win. And it was never a competition or a battle whatsoever, because he got that. And same with Phineas on Till Forever Falls Apart. He was like, this is your song. This is your baby. Niall Horan was the same exact way. Niall verbatim was like, moral of the story is your baby. You tell me if I overstep or if I, write a lyric here in the second verse that doesn't feel honest to your story. And I feel really, really grateful. The men that I've been able to work with have been nothing but very honoring to my vision. And have prioritized my vision and my agenda above their own.
Over their own brand. Yeah, right. Wow.
Yeah. Which, just a lot of people aren't going to do.
Yeah, I'm sure. And so maybe that's why you see Leroy's name all over every song, because he just gets it, and you're like, all right, I'm hanging on to you. We're going to take this ride together.
Oh, yeah, like Madison Beer's stuff. I don't know if you guys are playing Reckless yet, but I know that record is starting to really take off. And he, like, women, I call Leroy the hot boy or hot girl producer, because, like, a lot of hot girls like to work with him. Like, notoriously, like, Sabrina Carpenter, Madison Beer, who else?
Yeah.
So literally so many just wonderfully talented and very attractive women love to work with him. And he just is so, he's so respectful, and he's so kind, and he so puts you first. And that's just, really, really cool.
That's good. That's good to hear. And he's a young guy too, I think, isn't he? He's pretty young. So just the fact that he gets all that.
I think so. He's like 27, 28. I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know.
That's young. Settle down.
No, that's young. I was.
You're like, he's old. He's 28. This album is so fun. I know it came out just a couple of months ago, and there's a couple of songs, and I've been meaning to listen to as many as I can, but I keep getting stuck on Me Without You. I just can't stop listening to that damn song over and over, because it's so Eleanor Rigby, Sgt. Pepper's vibe, and I'll tell you, and I don't know which song, like when we air this on Myfm, I don't know which song you want to play, and honestly, we can play a bunch, I don't care, but I have to play that song because it's so funny, and it's mentally confusing, because it's like happy and good vibe, and it's upbeat, but the lyrics are kind of going against that, aren't they?
They're like a little bit.
Yes. And speaking of this, I noticed you said the line, go find yourself. Is that the original F word that you are meaning to put there?
I was not the original lyric. No. And then we wrote the whole song not that way. And then the next day I went in to cut the vocal, and I was like, my grandma is going to, we just can't. It's too much. But live, I'm like, we're going to do it the original way. But I was like, I thought it was just so much more classy and also smart. It was way more clever to say, go find yourself.
I think the rest of the lyrics make it clear what the intentions are. So yeah, you can do that low key. People get it. People pick up on it. But it is kind of like that, isn't it? It is. That's very upbeat, and then the lyrics don't matter. So how does that? How does that come about? Why would you do that tone with this tone? I've
always really loved songs that contrast themselves that way, that have sort of this like really uplifting sort of like fool the listener into it's fun, look over here, but really you're saying something sort of aggressive. I love that. Hold on, my dog is barking.
Oh.
You want to go outside?
It's like, dude, I got to poop. How long is this interview, for God's sakes?
I think my boyfriend just got back on a run. But yeah, I enjoy songs that kind of make you feel a certain way, and then the lyrics are kind of surprising. we wrote that song. It was just guitar and vocal when we originally wrote it. And so when we went in to start working on the production, we had the bass part, and just sort of slowly started building it. And the chorus originally had all of these layers. It was like piano, guitar, strings, all this stuff was going on. And that sort of like, I can be me without you, which is very simple and sort of kind of quiet, was getting so overshadowed and was kind of drowning under it all. And so we muted everything except for the strings and the vocal. And we were like, this is Eleanor Rigby, like it just had, it was also this moment of like, crap. No one is doing this because it is so not straight ahead pop music. It just felt, I was like, like I love this so much and I think this is so cool, but
where does it go?
But where does it go? No one's going to know what to do with this song. And that was a little bit scary for me at first. And then I just had to go, the last thing I want to do as an artist is make music that fits inside someone else's box.
Yeah. Wow. That is, but oh my gosh. Yes. But you do, but you don't. What a dilemma. Because you're right. It is so different. But how do you play that after a Maroon 5 song or before Lady Gaga's? But
exactly.
I think you can now. Things have changed, I think, in the past year where people want it. People are hungry for something different.
Well, I think that's what was cool about Moral of a Story was it was so different from everything else being played on the radio at the time. And you had some records like, remember Super Lonely by Benny, which was a very different record that was being played on pop radio. And you're like, oh, okay, all right, cool. There's some like very like newer, less obvious songs. Not to say good or bad, but just less obvious. And so I was really proud of Moral for getting, the sort of play it did on radio, and grateful that radio gave it a shot.
Yeah.
Because I know people who literally were like, this is not a pop song. We're not going to play that record on our station. And I'm like,
wow.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Thanks. That's back to that again.
Yeah. Or you're too alternative for pop.
People want it. I mean, look at everybody's like T-Pain now. We've heard that. Give me something different. Right?
It's going to be a tough task for you to find a place, for me without you. I'm grateful for it. Thank you.
I'm playing it. I'm going to play it for sure. What other songs should we play from this album that you're excited about?
Till Forever Falls Apart, I think is just a really fun and well-written record. I also think that it is a little bit less, like Me Without You is objectively the weirdest sonic record on the album. Where Till Forever Falls Apart, I think it's still unique, but it's not quite as like, what the heck am I gonna do with this song?
It's good.
I love that.
I think it's great. Even the vocals, just the fact that they're so dry and sorry to geek out about that. It's a very attractive song. But at first it was like listening to the music, and then when you listen to the words, like, hang on. Hold on a second. I don't want to keep you on forever because I know your dog wants your attention. But before I let you go, I know you've got a couple nights at the Fonda that you're set for. Yeah, Hollywood and Gower. Since you live here, how do you get there? Are you driving yourself?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it.
You could, right?
I guess so. It just depends on if they can let me in, like the back entrance, or I don't know.
Because I know it's a few shows in on the tour. Do you come home and sleep in your own bed for the night and then go, or do you still treat it like you're on the road?
I don't know. So this will be the first tour ever that I'm headlining with a tour bus. I I was touring for 3 years before the pandemic, but I was driving myself.
Yeah.
And so now, you know, now there's a tour bus and a band and a crew, and and press. Like, no one wanted to talk to me before a show, you know.
Sure.
Now people are going to show up in the green room, and I'm going to be like, what are you doing here? I got to go play a show.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to get there. I'll let you know.
You got some time to figure it out. Yeah, it's not till April, and we're giving away a bunch of tickets for it and stuff like that. Do you do like a pre-show breakfast? Are you drinking tea on stage, coffee? What are you having?
Oh, on stage. I used to drink beer on stage, but
yeah,
I feel like that's gonna just be, that was like a rock and roll era that I no longer am able to sustain. I'll usually have like a glass of wine before a show or something like that, but nothing crazier than that, and maybe a coffee on stage and some water.
White or red? What kind of wine are you doing?
Red all day.
Ugh.
Which is funny because it'll stain. If you look closely when I'm on stage, you'll see just like my teeth are stained. I should probably get those like little brushes before I go onto stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I think I'm gonna develop some pre-show rituals on this tour coming up, because it's been so long since I've played. So
get you some of that charcoal toothpaste to brush off the red wine stains before stage. I would have thought that would be worse because red wine's kind of dry, and it would be, but what, you know, I'm obviously not a singer. What the hell do I know? But all right,
I don't know. You're definitely not supposed to drink beer on stage because it makes you burp a lot.
Oh yeah.
So you'd have to like burp mid song, and I'm just like, I'm unlucky on stage. Like, I'll like suck in my hair in a breath and then like have to burp or sneeze mid song, and so I'm just trying to avoid looking like a fool on this next tour.
That's the good stuff, though. Oh my God, if you sneeze mid verse or something, that's the good stuff.
Yeah, what do? You stop, right?
No,
and you start
keep
over.
Going. I guarantee that'll be their favorite part of the show.
Oh man, yeah, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna leave you alone. I've sucked up so much time. You've been so nice and giving me so much time. It flies when I'm talking to you. It's so easy.
Oh, thanks, Dave. No, you're so lovely, and it's so easy to talk to you, and you ask good questions, and so I really appreciate it.